Scottish International Rally, and once again a big attraction is the entry of historic rally cars, running in a separate competition 1 hour ahead of the rest of the field. They're led by Scotland's rallying hero, Jimmy McRae.
I'm just going to try and do the same as we did last year. So it's try and win the event. But you know, we've done the recce, the stages are good. This rain that we've had this morning certainly helps the people behind us. I was hoping it was going to stay dry and they would get all my dust, but they're not going to get the dust now.
Well, against the Porsches?
Well, we did last year, but it was a bit wet and slippy last year, so I don't know really. It's very difficult to say.
So Jimmy sets off in his Lotus Cortina with navigator Pauline Gullick alongside to open up the 1997 event. Over from Northern Ireland in his Porsche 911, Desi Nutt. Well, the cars may be elderly, but they can still move. This is Jimmy pushing the Lotus through the Twigleys stage, heading north to the Tweed Valley. Desi Nutt wasn't hanging about either in the Elibank stage. This is another 911 and another Irishman, John Keatley. Entered by Historic Motorsport Limited, this is another Lotus Cortina with Mike Hibbert at the wheel. And remember this, the Hillman Avenger Tiger. This is Alan Clark trying to get the rear wheel power to stick to the road. Venturing north to give his Porsche an airing, Roger Powley. Another Englishman, Neil Calvert, brought his Lotus Cortina north from Burnley, but he probably wished he hadn't. Let's go in car with international entry Tom Hind, and we'll see why. This is on the second stage at Craig.
Flat, into one left, into black vest, into one right, 170, push it in.
Now look on the left, and yes, that's Calvert's Cortina on its roof, and well and truly out.
170.
Over from the Isle of Man, Adrian Kermode was having great fun in his Mini Cooper S. While the Lotus Cortina of Rob Pilcher was wagging its tail in delight, being back on the rally stages. The Ford Escort Mexico just couldn't be beaten in its heyday. This one's in the hands of Neil Rudd. Another Manxman over for the Scottish, David Luton, in another Lotus Cortina. Historic Motorsport entered 3 Cortinas. This is the third, driven by John Lloyd. Jock Hislop may have been on home ground, but his Mini was being overtaken by Gordon Boyd in the Cortina. And not a good day for Graham Samuel and Tony Phillips. Only the second stage, and already their Volvo Amazon had given up. Bouncing along, this is the Saab 96 of Peter Lumsden. And this is the rare Saab Sonnet of Andrew Street of the West Midlands. And not a car you see rallying much, the Triumph Toledo of local man John Hume of Selkirk. Ford Anglias were never much of a force in rallying, but this one, driven by Phil Foster, was trying hard. Robert Leach did well in his Triumph TR4 in 10th place. Service in Galashiels, and Jimmy McRae was enjoying himself.
It's going all right. The first 2 stages, Desi Nutt was a bit close to, was only 7 seconds behind, but we went into the Tweed Valley stages there and tried a bit harder, so I think we've increased the gap a bit, so I'm quite happy.
Desi Nutt acknowledged the fight he had on his hands.
We're having a good run. We got close to Jimmy on the first 2 stages and we were building our hopes up, but Once we got into Elibank, he showed us the way to go. Had a wonderful time there. Took him almost 40 seconds off us, so I think that there's not really very much we can do about that. But we're running a safe second with John Keatley third, and just hope that it continues.
John Keatley was having a great time. He described the conditions as perfect.
It's going okay. We can't catch Jimmy, of course. He's well ahead, and so Desi's just getting away from us. We sort of first stage, I think we were half sleeping, but we were up to Desi's times after that, and then we lost a wheel. So we're still holding third, so we're happy enough.
On to stage 7, a second run through Elibank, and by now the sun was drying out the tracks after the early morning rain. Nutt was still there, but unable to catch Jimmy. John Keatley was trying hard, but was slipping back into 4th place. His 3rd position was taken by Alan Clark, getting the most from the Hillman. And Roger Powley was trying just a bit too hard on this bend. While the Mini of Adrian Kermode still had the ability to throw the stones about. Rob Pilcher was heading for 6th place. And within the top 10, Neil Rudd. At number 7, David Luton's Lotus Cortina. And the last one home, Gordon Boyd's Cortina. The historics belong to McRae. Here he is on the final stage at Castleower, and he's well ahead, with a lead of almost a minute and a half. Desi Nutt had to settle for runner-up position, but at least he was in one piece. Unlike some others. John Hume, for example. John gets out to assess the situation. But there are plenty of spectators around, with plenty of helping hands, and lots of muscle. So with the traditional pushing and shoving, he's eventually on his way. And he acknowledges the effort with a blast on the horn. But now he's being caught by the Anglia of Phil Foster. The MGB of David Butler bears some scars on its bonnet. It's about to get some more.